Okay, finally. Yay, finally able to go live. Everything is a little bit wonky, but we are now able to do this. So let's see. Hi, Talitha, how are you? So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Monsta X concert that's coming up. So yeah, as you can see, Monsta X, we are here. Actually, let me snap over. Let me talk to you guys for a second. So I hope you guys are doing wonderful and doing lovely. But today we're going to be talking a little bit about the upcoming ticketing for Monsta X. Monsta X is coming here on tour again. This is going to be the third year in a row that they have done a full concert tour. They came in July of 2017, July of 2018, and now they will be here July to August of 2019. So yay, Monsta X. Oh my goodness, this is why I've been dying. I have like a terrible throat. Hi Lucy, how are you? So today we're going to be talking a little bit about some Monsta X. So let's just first, before I do anything else, let's just run down the Monsta X stuff. So I'm going to try to blow this up a little bit for you guys. This is not evenly sized like I'd like, but okay. So what we're going to do is let's just take a look at the tickets. So first things first, tickets will be going on sale on Friday, March 29th at 4 p.m. venue time. So 4 p.m. venue time. That means that if you are planning on going to the show in New York, that means that you will be doing ticketing at 4 p.m. Eastern. If you're going to the show at Staples Center in LA, you will be ticketing at 4 p.m. Pacific. So if you live in LA, but you're going to the New York show for some reason, that means that you're going to be ticketing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, your time, because it'll be 4 o'clock in New York. So that's just the first bit. I'm going to get a drink because since I'll be talking a lot and I have no voice still, I'm already dying, even though I've only been talking for like, what, 2 minutes? I love you guys, but I'm going to die if I don't have a drink right now real quick. So hold on one sec. I'm still right here. You're going to hear a pop. I have some cranberry juice. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. So now that I've gone over the, I've gone over when the tickets go on sale, which is March 29th, which is this coming Friday. Let's go over the different stops. So this year there are a total of 6 stops. Let's see if I can squeeze them all in here. I got to make it a little bit smaller if I do. Okay, I'm going to leave it though, because resizing it is going to be a pain. Okay, so there are 6 stops this time. The first stop is going to be on July 25th. That's going to be in Dallas at Verizon Theater. I believe the capacity is something like, I think it's like 6,345, something like that. It's a little bit over 6,000 for Dallas Verizon Theater. The next stop is going to be on Saturday, July 27th, and that will be in Houston at the Smart Financial Center. Again, that is a 6,400 person venue, so 6,400 people will be there, 6,400, okay? Next up, we have Atlanta on July 30th, which is a Tuesday, and that is going to be at the Fox Theater. Then on Saturday, August 3rd, they will be performing in New York at the Hulu Theater. Then on August 6th, which is a Tuesday again, they will be in Chicago at the Rosemont Theater. And They are going to their final stop in the US on August 10th, which is a Saturday again, and they will be in LA at the Staples Center. So I went over the capacity for Dallas and Houston, but Atlanta, New York, and Chicago are all roughly similar. All the venues fit either between 4,000 and 6,000, except for LA, which is Staples Center, which is a much larger venue. Staples Center is a full arena. The others are all, as you can see in the names, they are all theaters. Which am I going to? I am planning on going to the Houston show. Usually I go to a lot of shows at the Verizon Theater, but just with work and things, the fact that the Houston show is on a Saturday works out a little bit more in my favor since I won't have to take off work. So I will be aiming for the Houston show. So yeah, that's my goal currently. Sorry. Okay, so what else? So I went over the specific locations. All of the shows will be starting at 8 p.m. So they are also seated venues that we know of so far. So I believe they are all seated, except for Staples Center, which I'm not sure of yet. I know Verizon Theater is entirely seated. Smart Financial Center is entirely seated. I know Rosemont Theater is entirely seated. I am not entirely sure about Fox Theater or Hulu Theater. I have not been to either of them, so I'm not sure, and I actually didn't look up just now if it is a seated or if it does allow for standing at those two. As for LA with Staples Center, since this is a slightly different beast for Monsta X, there's a couple of different things that could be happening for Staples Center. It is possible that there may be standing seats for essentially general admission for Los Angeles. So yes, so actually there is. So the pit, there is a standing pit. So LA does have a standing pit, which means that if you purchase the GA ticket, you'll be let into a pit, which means you will be around the stage. My guess is that LA at the Staples Center, they might have an extended stage, which will be different than the other ones, which are obviously just plain theaters. The actual seating chart is not out yet, so it is possible that they may not have an extended stage, but it is possible that they may. We will have to see what happens when they release those seating charts, which I imagine will come out very shortly since the tickets go on sale on Friday. So I imagine at the very latest, they will go out on Thursday at the latest. So let's go over the actual ticket benefits before I go over ticketing at all. So as far as the actual ticket benefits, there are essentially 3 types of tickets that you can end up getting. Technically, you can potentially get 4 types of tickets for LA, but let's just go over the main 3 because that's what you'll be getting at most of the venues, and they still apply to LA as well. So the main 3 types of tickets that you're going to be getting are, there's Ultimate VIP, there is a high touch, and then there is nothing. So if you are going for the Ultimate VIP, so it is possible that the seating charts might come out tomorrow or Tuesday to give a few days, but that is not guaranteed. For example, with NCT 127, the seating chart was actually released, I think it was like a day before the tickets actually went on sale. It was like the night before. So you never know. With the BTS tickets recently, they didn't release any seating chart. And I've noticed it might be due to the influx of shows this year that the seating charts have been released later and later. So we have no idea when we're going to get the seating chart. It is Powerhouse, so they do have a standard of releasing them ahead of time. But we can't know exactly how far ahead of time in this case right now. Hopefully they will come out by Tuesday, but we can never know. That would be lovely if they do, though. Trust me, I would be thrilled. Okay, but back into the actual tickets. So like I said, there's Ultimate VIP, there's High Touch, and then no tickets. So Ultimate VIP is the highest tier ticket. They are $255 if you're going to New York. All other venues, it's $249. So they're roughly about $250 before any fees, okay? So that Ultimate VIP package comes with a few different things. So let me scroll down so you can actually look at it as I go over them. So there is, with the Ultimate VIP package, which, like I mentioned, is the most expensive package at roughly $250, you get High Touch, Send-Off, a signed merch item, VIP laminate, and early entry if you're going to LA. It does not apply to the other venues because, like I said, I think at least half of them are not standing venues. Possibly, like I said, I'm not sure about Fox or Hulu. They might all be seated venues. If that's the case, there's no need for there to be early entry since there's no GA. Okay. Woo! Okay, so that is the Ultimate VIP package. So let's just go over what those actual benefits are real quick. So I listed off what they are, but in case you don't know, High Touch is the standard High Touch, which pretty much all the members stand in a line and they march everybody who has the High Touch perk. They walk them down the line and you walk past each of the members. You get to pretty much you touch their hands. In some case, they encourage that it's just like the sound, high touch, that you're just giving them like high five. But in reality, some members are sometimes a little bit more. They'll like grip your hand for a second, but you're not stopping and getting a hug from everybody. You're just a simple touch of the hands, whether that's a plain high five, which they want, or if it is a little bit of a grip. That's about the extent of what you're getting. Then the next item is the send-off. So the send-off is something that has not been happening recently. I personally have not been to any event that has had a send-off. The send-off is also a perk that was listed for like Blackpink. And it seems like it's a perk that Powerhouse is bringing back. And I say bringing back in that they haven't done this in the past few years. I have never experienced a send-off, but from what I understand from the send-off perk, from having seen things about it previously, is that after the event, once the high touch is all done and the guys are ready to go, those with this perk will be essentially brought to a specific area where the guys will be leaving from. And in this time, pretty much it's almost like a reversed high touch, but there's no guarantee you're going to get any sort of specific interaction. Essentially, it's kind of like if you have gone to a venue and waited after a show and waited to see the group leave out the back door. It's very similar to that, except the difference is Powerhouse will essentially be controlling that exit, in that they will be lining up specific people so that they have access and they can see the group up in a much closer location. Whereas when you just kind of do it on your own, you could be relatively close, but usually you're a fair distance away from them, kind of looking off from afar, and they might see you and wave. In this case, usually what they would do is they would get you set up close, and usually they'll probably have like a barricade up. And this also gives the members to kind of reverse high touch going, where they're the ones going past the people who are standing there for the send-off, and they can say a final goodbye, wave, speak to somebody real quick, give another high touch, that sort of thing. that's what I understand that the send-off is. I haven't seen, obviously, any of their new send-offs, if they're going to be changing things up, since, like I said, I haven't seen that they've done one of these send-offs since before I got into it in the past few years. So this is something that they haven't necessarily done recently. The next item is the signed merch item. My guess is it's going to be their latest album. So right now that would be We Are Here. It could also just be a poster. We don't know exactly, but it is going to be whatever this item is that's just a little bit extra, and it will be signed. I don't know if it'll be individual member signed, if it'll be group signed. I don't know. They didn't specify that, but that's something that we'll find out later on. And we'll probably actually get a better idea about it come when Blackpink does their tour, because they have similar, like the same benefits here as well. So, let's see. Then there is the VIP laminate. The VIP laminate is just a laminate, and it'll probably have like a lanyard attached to it. And then early entry, and that's for LA only. So that's the VIP package. The ultimate VIP. The regular VIP, regular high touch package is going to be $199. So roughly about $200, and you get just the high touch and the laminate. So if you want to do the send off and you want the signed merch item, go for the ultimate VIP on top of the regular high touch. Those will also, the ultimate VIP will also have the best seats in the house, obviously. So if you want to be the absolute closest, you want that extra bit, go for the ultimate VIP. Otherwise, just go for regular VIP if you just want high touch. The rest of the tiers are the tiers that don't have any benefits. You're just going to see the show. So those tiers are going to be P2. So for Staples Center, P2 also has pit. So you can have seated or pit if you are P2. If you're doing P1, if you want the VIP package, you will be in the pit no matter what. From what I understand, the VIP, ultimate VIP, only will have, like, the first row of seated seats will be ultimate VIP. So if you want seated seats, you either have to go ultimate VIP or you have to drop all the way down and lose all your benefits. Those are your only real options. So P2 is going to be $169. P3 is $139. P4 is $89, and P5 is $59. So the prices are similar to what they were previously, although they have gone up on the higher range of things. So the lower range has pretty much stayed the same, but the higher range has increased. Okay. Whew. Losing my voice. Okay, so what's next? So for the most part, we have Axis and Ticketmaster will both be doing ticketing. Fox Theater has their own website. So it's going to be either Axis, Ticketmaster, or Fox Theater. Depending on your venue of choice. Let me snap over to talk to you guys for a second. So since there are 3 different actual ticketing locations, Axis, Ticketmaster, and Fox Theater, we're going to be dealing with 3 different potential systems depending on where you're trying to buy your tickets from. My assumption is that they are going to recognize that Monsta X is going to be one of those high sales events, and they will likely have the queues set up. Queues are not automatic, but due to the fact that of the way that Monsta X tickets have sold previously, they do have a precedent for how fast things sell. So my guess is that they will likely, very likely, have queues set up. It's possible they don't, but I would imagine that they will. Ticketmaster and Access are a pain in the butt. So things have changed quite a lot on Access. Not too much. I mean, things have changed a lot on Ticketmaster. Not too much has changed on the Access end of things. Access roughly functions similar to the way that it did before. But Ticketmaster now functions a little bit more the way Access does, which I'm not the biggest fan. One of the biggest things and the biggest irritants that I found with dealing with either of them, that they have both changed recently, is that when purchasing tickets, oftentimes, and by oftentimes, pretty much every time I've gone to buy a ticket this year, I am not able to just choose best available. What that means is, rather than saying I want to buy a ticket in this range or this section, and the system just finds a random ticket for me, instead I have to go and look at the map and select my seat. You would think, oh, that's great, you can choose where you're going to actually sit, but it's really not a great system. The reason why it's not so great is because you get let into this room, and you're let into this room when a bunch of other people are actually in this room at the same time as you. And everybody's trying to click the same tickets, essentially. So you can often spend a lot of time clicking on a seat and saying, oh no, a fan has beat you to it. Then you have to spend time finding another seat and finding another one, and you're constantly clicking until finally it'll say, you got the seat. For example, I just recently, this past weekend, I got into the room and I spent about 15 minutes just clicking around to try to find a seat. The first session I was in actually timed out because I couldn't find an available seat within the time frame. So that is a little bit annoying when you're dealing with trying to find an actual seat, because you're just constantly trying to find, well, this one works and this one does this, but this one doesn't. And it's irritating. It's really irritating, and I really wish that during these highly wanted events, they just have a best available option. If you want to let us choose what section we're sitting in, fine, awesome. That works. That's actually nice. But I don't need to choose my exact seat, because, at least personally, I'm usually going for a ticket range. And wherever I get, for the most part, I'm fine with. Better seat, the better. But if I'm sitting there for 15 minutes trying to get the seat that I want to try to get, but there's a seat somewhere else in the same price range that I would be happy with, but I'm not doing that because I'm trying to get the seat I want, it just gets frustrating. What do I think they will actually be selling on Ticketmaster tomorrow? Okay, so you're talking about the pre-sale. Yeah, so there is I believe it's for Chase, a Chase pre-sale on Ticketmaster, and that's only for, essentially, that's just for any of the Ticketmaster shows. I would not recommend doing that. As far as I understand, everything with those pre-sales is that it is Ticketmaster opening up pre-sales with dynamic pricing, which means that you go into this pre-sale, and yes, you have access to the seats early, but One, they don't always open up every section as being available that you can try to get a seat from. So you may be able to go into it, but they may not have the section that you want. And two, the other issue is that it is, like I just mentioned, dynamically priced, which means that if nobody walks in to that room and asks to buy those tickets, then yeah, you might be able to buy the tickets for face. But if there are multiple people buying it, then they can change those prices and they can raise those prices. And so essentially, you might be securing yourself a seat a little bit early, but you may be paying way more than you have to be paying. So I wouldn't personally recommend it. Also, I wouldn't recommend it on a moral standpoint, because all that's doing is encouraging Ticketmaster to continue their terrible practices in which they are essentially trying to cheat people out of more money so that they can help their own resale business. So, yeah. But it is something that is technically available. But if you do decide to do it and have the option to do it, chances are you're going to be paying a lot more than you would than if you just waited for the regular general sale. So, there's that. Also, they only release a limited number of those too. They're not going to sell like the whole show. So, they aren't doing it for Chicago. Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty. I'm glad that they wouldn't be doing it for Chicago. I've only seen it, like I said, I can't even remember. I think it was just LA that I know about for sure. I think might be doing it. I'm not sure about any of the other venues. But I'm dying. I need more juice. Okay. But those are the three different sites, Access, Ticketmaster, and Fox Theater. I don't know how Fox Theater's system works. I've never been to Fox Theater. I've never bought from Fox Theater. What I found is usually when it's a smaller site like that, I found that the ticketing can go either one of two ways. Either one, their site is set up for ticketing and it's wonderful and amazing and it works well. Or two, it does not handle it very well. So, yeah. So being stressed for these tickets is understandable. So I bought tickets in 2017. I remember the only way I managed to get tickets was off of Powerhouse's website, which I didn't mention, but Powerhouse Live's website is also available this time for ticketing. It does list it. Let me show you. So it does list for each venue. It does actually list powerhouselive.net as one of the sale locations. So sometimes that works out better. I did manage to get 2 tickets in 2017 off of that, but I got nothing in 2018. 2018 was actually the worst year. 2018, I was trying initially to go to both Dallas and Houston, and I wanted to get P2, I think, for both of them. I got absolutely nothing for Dallas, and the best I could get for Houston was P3. So, and that it was a nightmare. And I actually so I went with a friend, and I wasn't even the one who pulled the P3 for neither show, Dallas or Houston. I pulled 0 tickets, none, the entire time, and I tried for like an hour and a half. I really wish I wasn't dying right now. It's funny because I was out all day and I was fine, but now that I'm in front of the camera, I can't speak. But yeah, ticketing is going to be a mess. If you haven't done any of the Ticketmaster ticketing recently, and they do the queue, which I think they will, like I mentioned, you're in for a fun surprise. It's going to be a fun surprise that I don't know how much I should tell. Like, I mean, I don't mind telling you, but I don't know how much you guys know. But Ticketmaster has completely changed their system. So previously with Ticketmaster, you plug in your laptop, your phone, whatever connection was the fastest, whatever connection got you in, that's how you got the tickets. Like, that's what determined it. Now it's a hot mess. So you're going to be trying for Chicago. I like that things are all seated too. Like, having things all seated is wonderful. Both Dallas and Houston are. Like I said, I think almost all of them are. I just don't know about Fox and Hulu. It's the only two that I'm not sure. I know that they're at least partially seated. I don't know if they're fully seated. I think they might be fully seated, though. You've been lucky for the past 2 years. You got a P1. Oh, you're lucky. 2017, I got a P2. So that's the only time I've gotten to meet Monsta X. I would like to get a VIP this year, but we'll see. Not the ultimate VIP. I don't know if I want to do the send-off, but I'm not sure. I really wish, I don't like the whole ominous, like the ominous, like random merch item. Like, what's the merch item? Like, is it an album? You don't have to tell me if they're releasing a new album. Is it an album? Is it a poster? Like, I don't know. You're going to be trying for New York and LA. Oh, man. Yes. So that is exactly what I'm thinking is going to be like, just like the BTS tickets. And I imagine it's going to be just as nasty of a mess as it was for BTS. And the reason I say this as I'm dying, is so I did the BTS ticketing twice. And what it does is about a half an hour before, you have to get into the pre-queue. And be careful. You have to get into the pre-queue. Like, you can't just leave it on the page. Like, a half an hour before the show, you have to refresh and make sure that you hit the button to get into the pre-queue. That'll drop you into the actual pre-queue. And then here's where it gets nasty and it's just not fun. Because once you get into the pre-queue, it's completely random. So you can join the pre-queue a half an hour before, and somebody who joined the pre-queue 1 minute before on sale could still end up getting in ahead of you because they assign it randomly. So for example, I had 2 computers and my phone up. And one of my computers, something was going on, and I didn't get into the pre-queue until about 5 minutes before. And that was the computer that got through first. And it's a mess. So you just sit there, and then it'll sit there, and you'll just see this little man just waiting, taunting you about how he's not moving, or he'll be like moving like this, and then like this, and then like this, and then he'll just sit there for like 5 minutes and not move. And then all of a sudden you let a jump like this, and then no movement again. And there's no way that you can know where in the line. There's no way to boost yourself in the line. But you do want to make sure you're in the pre-queue ahead of time, because if you go and try to join the pre-queue after, join the queue after, you're automatically put in behind everybody who was already in the pre-queue. So you have to get in early. And it's trash. You're going to wait and find resale later. Resale, that one is so tough, but also so easy with Monsta X. So, like, for example, last year, since I only got P3, I was looking for a lot of resale tickets. And on Ticketmaster, I actually found a set that somebody put up for resale that was like, it was like right at face value, or I think maybe like $20 more than face value. But I was going with my friend, and she decided that she's just like, I don't really want it. So like I had to pass up on the tickets. It made me so sad. It made me so sad. But yeah, resale is both easy and hard because there's so many people that end up buying their Monsta X tickets and then reselling them. So I feel like there's usually resale that you can find, but it's like a weird, like, when is the right time? Like, every time I've looked for resale for Monsta X, I get the most luck finding tickets about a week to 2 weeks after the on sale date. Like, for some reason, that range is like the perfect time frame of like people that are selling it for like face value. They did it for two, like, it's just Ticketmaster's new system. And the reason I think it'll be bad for Monsta X isn't because I experienced it with BTS, but because I experienced it with BTS. And then the very next day, experienced it just as bad and just as terrible with Stray Kids. Obviously, it wasn't quite as long, but I remember the next morning being like, Stray Kids, it'll be busy, but it won't be too bad. I sat in the queue for about 15 minutes before I was actually able to get through it. I thankfully called and bought my Stray Kids tickets over the phone. But from what I've actually been hearing is that Ticketmaster has like taken away the phone option, not just for when they took it away for BTS, but like they've taken away the phone option for other people too. So like there's no more, I'm just going to call in and get my tickets, which sucks. Hulu is full seated. Nice. That is good to know because, yeah, like having a fully seated concert is really nice because then you can just kind of just roll up, not have to worry about queuing up early in the morning, which is a pain and it leaves you exhausted. You had zero luck for BTS through the website. It's really difficult to use the website when there's a huge queue, and there will be for Monsta X. So yeah, it's getting these tickets for Monsta X is going to be a nightmare, which is why I wanted to make a new video, because even the differences that I've noticed since the BTS ticketing a few weeks ago, Ticketmaster has changed more things again. So like I said, there's no phone now. And let me tell you this, I mentioned it already, but I absolutely hate having to pick my own seat. Having to pick your own seat is the worst thing in the world. I've adopted an awful, terrible strategy, and that terrible strategy is rather than trying to pick a great seat that I want that's really good, I've started just now seeing like, oh, I got in, I'm going to go ahead and pick an awful seat. Like, I'm going to pick the seat in the weird corner, and hopefully nobody's tried to take it. Yeah, it's just, the system is just really difficult to use on the computer because like you end up sitting there in a line. So like, yeah, I can imagine. Just Stray Kids was a mess too. It wasn't as big of a mess as BTS, but it was a freaking mess. And I just don't know how Ticketmaster thinks that the changes that they've made are like improving the ticketing process. Like, it's possible that yes, it may be preventing some more people from scalping and stuff. I don't know how much more. But one of the biggest differences that I've noticed now that is really annoying is that the ticketing process now used to be like when I bought tickets previously through Ticketmaster, I would know within 20 to 30 minutes if I had the tickets. Like, I would know. Like, I got them. They would be sold out or whatever. You know, because you get in, they generate something randomly. You only have a few minutes to pick it. It's done. But with the way that they have things now where they're just letting people in like trickles as things are going through and you're finding your own seats, the process takes a lot longer now. So what used to be like, oh, things are done in like half an hour. Now, one of the times when I did the BTS ticketing, it literally took me an hour and 40 minutes before I pulled tickets. An hour and 40 minutes. And the thing is, it hadn't even sold out yet. And it was a show that sold out that day. Like, it didn't wait. It was just it just took so long to finally get into the room to even try to buy tickets that it's like it becomes like an all-day process now. It's like, well, you want to go to the show? Well, you better take off some time or be able to take a break so that you can actually have time to ticket. And they take it at 4 PM or 10 AM, and it's like, these are not convenient times. Oh, if you're going for the Monsta X in Houston, well then, hello, because that's the show that I am aiming for as well. They flooded the call system after ticketing. Wrong addresses and general questions. Interesting. I mean, that's definitely possible, but I mean, they've had the phone system for a while. And they had the phone system for Stray Kids too, which was the next day. But now they don't. So, I don't know. I don't know their inner workings, but I feel like they were probably just making changes and we're just like, well, we're just pulling it now entirely. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions or were like planning on anything. Were you planning on doing anything awesome for Monsta X? Like, I know that I wanted to do something for another upcoming tour, and I've thought about doing the project for Monsta X as well. The only problem for me is that I'm only going to be going to the Houston stop. I'm not going to be going to all of the stops, so I wouldn't be able to coordinate for everything. And it might be nice to try to do something even if it's just for one show. In case you were wondering, what I was thinking of doing was doing lights. Like little light up lights. Like finger lights, because finger lights cost. They're not very expensive. But I was pretty much thinking of potentially raising money to buy a whole bunch of finger lights for people that don't have like light sticks, which I'm one of those people that does not have a light stick. I actually don't have very many light sticks at all. But it is nice because that actually happened at another concert that I went to where they gave out just little lights. And it was nice to be able to be like, yay, I kind of get to still enjoy and be part of this show kind of with the lights and everything. Even though it was just a tiny little finger light, it was still nice to do. So is it true Powerhouse lists tickets before the announced time? I mean, it never hurts to check beforehand. But personally, I haven't seen that happen. I usually am on the website ahead of time looking and constantly refreshing, and I haven't seen tickets be released early like that. But I mean, it certainly could be possible. Or even just a glitch in the system, so. But I'm not entirely sure that that was the case. I know that Powerhouse last year did have a lot of issues. In particular, they had issues with seats being double sold last year. That happened a lot, which is why I think the next show that they did after that, they didn't sell on their website. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's always possible that they could go up ahead of time accidentally, a sly back end release, but I don't know. So yeah, it's definitely doesn't hurt looking. Yes, I did go to South by Southwest. Yes, I got to go see Chungha and Icon. I was there mainly for Icon, but I did really want to see Chungha as well because Chungha is an angel. But yeah. Yes, I will be focusing mainly on Ticketmaster. I will probably still have Powerhouse Live up for when I go for the tickets in Houston, but I will be focusing mainly on Ticketmaster, just because even though I've been successful at buying tickets direct through Powerhouse before, I think I did it. I bought tickets for Monsta X and then also for BAP, and it kind of, the website drives me a little bit nuts. It's better now since the redesign, but I've actually had less luck pulling tickets since the redesign, so there's that. So I'm going to focus mainly on Ticketmaster, even though Ticketmaster is annoying. So I'm probably going to get going though in a couple minutes. So, but if there's any other questions, any other comments about the Monsta X ticketing, like I said, I'm really not sure how I feel about the whole send-off. It looks... Cat, why are you playing in the bag? But I'm not sure how I feel about the send-off. Send-off could be... Come here. You're trying to play in the bag. Say hello to my cat. But like, send-off seems like it's going to be something that it can either be really awesome, or it might just be like, hey, we want 50 more bucks from y'all, so cough it up. I think the prices, I'm actually going to look it up right now, but I can't remember what the prices were last year. I think that they were much cheaper, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Nope, that is not what I wanted. Is this, I'm like literally searching real quick for, yep, so I just found it. So yeah, they jacked up the prices a lot. So just for reference, last year, P1 and P2 both had high touch. Last year, P1 was $195, and then P2 was $165. So right now, P1, right now, currently, this year, the P2 tickets, well, I should say no, the VIP tickets. The VIP tickets are $199. So those VIP tickets are already more expensive than the P1s from last year and the year before. So, yeah. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Exactly. It's like send off for free. You just stand out there and watch them from a distance. Like, I've done it so many times. I've had Mark wave at me and things like that. So like, it's silly, but they wanna charge for it. Get out of the bag, cat. What is with you in this bag? I'm taking it away. I'm taking it away from you. No bag for you. Okay, sorry. But it's seriously, I don't understand what the whole, oh, you get to do a send off. I don't know. It's just extra money. Yet if I got it, I might do it. And the thing is, if I were to go for the ultimate VIP, it is absolutely 100% not for any of those perks except for high touch. It would simply just to be the closest to the stage, and that's it. That is literally the only reason why. Just to actually be at the concert that close. The rest of it, other than the high touch, like I said, don't really need it. I don't want a laminate. I don't want a lanyard. I have so many lanyards from the GOT7 tour last year. Like, I just have them everywhere. I just started hanging them on things. I don't use them. So, But yeah, it's going to be fun to see what it's going to be like ticketing. Friday, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. If you're ticketing on Ticketmaster, be prepared to wait because it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. You won't drop your light stick. It's fine. You're going to be fine. You're not going to drop your light stick. Although, literally, when I saw my friend the other day at the Astro concert, she came over to me, and within seconds of seeing her, she dropped the light stick, and I was just like, I'm not moving, and I'm not saying anything until you test that thing and make sure that it comes back on. So, but yeah, I am excited for ticketing. Well, I'm excited for the concert, not for ticketing. Ticketing is going to probably make me sick and really anxious for like the 24 hours leading up to ticketing. I'm probably going to like literally be sick. But once that's over, then there's the relief that I have this lovely concert I get to go to at the end of July, or if you're going in August, beginning of August. But in the summer, and you can just chill and relax and just be gravy and chill and just enjoy. We just have to get through Friday. We just have to get through Friday. But yeah, I'm going to go now because I'm completely losing my voice. There might be another mini video that I do. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Just for Robbie's ticketing coming up. I don't know how they're doing it. It's my music taste, which means it's going to be annoying. And my music taste has been messing up this year really bad. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I'll see you guys. Bye.